conducting the meeting. We do have a commissioner and our chair who's online. Good morning, Mr. Chair. Are you there?
I am. Thank you, Vice Chair.
Fantastic. Well, let's go ahead and get this meeting started.
Item number 1 is comments by the general public.
Fantastic. This is the first time set aside for public comment. This time is limited to comments on items included on the agenda. Those wishing to speak on a posted agenda item, now is your opportunity. Please come forward to the microphone to provide your comments and state your name for the record. You will be limited to 3 minutes for your comments. Is there anyone who would like to provide comments? No? Well, I will just make a quick comment for myself. I just wanted to take a moment to recognize this is, of course, the flood control district, and we grieve and we're in support of our friends in Texas, who, of course, they didn't have, I guess, a functioning system there to take care, and of course, we wish them we stand with them. And we'd also like to recognize that we have an interagency team. First responders from the cities of Las Vegas, of Henderson, of North Las Vegas, and the county are there to provide support in this great time of need. Godspeed them in their mission and their safety back to us. If there's anyone else who would like to provide a comment? Yeah, I'm very happy that we have them there. And of course, as America, we support each other in this country. Okay, if there's no other public comments, we will move on to the next item.
Item number 2 is action to approve the agenda with deletion of any items.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second? A mover?
So moved.
Thank you, Mayor. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much, Chair. And the motion passes.
Item number 3 are the annual elections. Every year we are required to elect a board chair, vice chair, and board secretary. I'd just like to note for the record that the staff recommends that Ms. Patricia Metz, the Office Services Manager for RFCD, be elected as board secretary.
Fantastic. Well, I think if there's anyone else who, I think the way we don't normally do this is that we nominate, of course, the chair. And I know I would like to nominate our current chair, he's out there, but I definitely would like to nominate him. I remember the last time we did this, we said a little something along with that, but I don't know if we actually want to do that. Is there anyone else who would like to nominate someone else for the chair?
I'll second a motion for Justin Jones as chair.
Okay, we have a second for the motion. Chairman Jones, is there anything that you would like to say on your behalf before we take this vote?
I just appreciate the support of my colleagues, and so I can't be there today, but would appreciate your support for this role and would love to continue serving.
If you are indeed with your family, that's a priceless moment. Never apologize for that, Chairman. Right? We all need more time with our loved ones. And with that, I guess I will close. Right?
Well, if you can do all 3 in one vote, or you can vote individually if you'd like.
In terms of efficiency, that's why we have you. That's why you're the guy that got picked for that job. That's extremely efficient. Of course, I would expect that from an engineer.
So you know what? I would go ahead and just, since the motion's been made, let's go ahead and vote on the chairman, and then we'll vote on the vice chairman and Patricia Metz. And
that'll work for the next time we do this. How's that? Okay, so we have a motion. We have a second. All those in favor? Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. By the way, did that include, no, we did not include the one for the...
no, that was just for the chairman. Now you want to vote for the vice chairman. And you can include Patricia if you want.
Can we combine the 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do that. Okay, folks, I think I have a deep commitment to this board. I would ask my colleagues to please, to please nominate me. I would like to continue in my role as vice chair. And I promise I will do my very best to support this agency's mission. And of course, and I recognize, of course, that Commissioner Steger-Bloom has now also joined us. Good morning.
I
And in the meantime, could we all, and again, I would also ask that the mover would also combine the secretary's position as well.
Yes, and I will make that motion.
Thank you very much, Mayor.
You're very welcome.
So the motion is for Councilman Barone to be vice chair and Patricia Metz to be board secretary.
Yes. So moved.
Second? Thank you, Councilman. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, everyone. Item number 4 is action to approve the minutes of the June 12th, 2025 meeting.
So moved.
Thank you very much. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you very much. Motion passes. Next up.
So item number 5 is to discuss the general manager's monthly report. I'd just like to report quickly on our 2025 flood safety press conference that we hold every year in late June or early July, which this year was on June 24th. I was out at the Jim McGoy Detention Basin. We have 2 members of our board that spoke at that event, Chris Outler from the National Weather Service and myself. It was a great event, actually a lot cooler. We think it was probably the coolest day we've ever had out there for one of our events. It was only 100 degrees probably. A beautiful location. The detention basin's under construction, and that's going to be a great benefit for the community out there. So the press conference focused on not just the project, not just the area, but also about just flood safety as we move into monsoon season. So we had lots of media there, lots of good coverage, got a message out, did some interviews afterwards, and we really appreciate the opportunity to do this, and we thank everyone for their attendance and for the media for being out there to help spread our message of flood safety. I also want to point out some good news in the world of flood safety. We often report on people that were killed while being flooded in the tragedy in Texas and New Mexico last week or so. Here we had a couple people in a very minor storm event get trapped in a storm drain just next to this building here, over by Symphony Park. The Las Vegas, shout out to the Las Vegas firefighters who heard a call, responded within 5 minutes, and were able to rescue 2 people out of a storm drain. It's just, those are the hazards of living in the tunnels, the fire battalion chief said. So that is true. I mean, we're going to keep seeing this every time it rains, even if it's a minor rainstorm. If people are living or inside of our facilities when it rains, that's where the water's going. It's very tragic, and it's going to be a continued problem until we can find a way to keep people out of the system. And also mentioning the Texas flooding, over 120 deaths and counting. New Mexico, there are 3 deaths. A lot of media coverage, a lot of people calling us, can it happen here? We've spent $2.5 billion on flood control in Clark County. We have over 713 miles of channels and storm drains, 111 detention basins to protect the public. Can it happen here? I'd like to say no, but we know that those events can happen. They're very dangerous. Would it have happened here if we didn't have that system in place? Absolutely. You saw houses being flooded, being moved in those events in Texas and New Mexico. Things like that were happening here in the old days, in the 70s and 80s. Our flood control infrastructure is strong. It's impressive. Our public outreach is important as well. But we have to be aware that that Mother Nature is very, very powerful, and that things like this, when people are outside of the Las Vegas Valley, but we don't have that infrastructure, to be aware of when hiking in canyons and things like that, that floods can occur, and very quickly. And we don't really have time, as those people found out in Texas. We don't have time to warn. I mean, it's a half hour, it's 15 minutes. How can we possibly warn them in time? So it just, be aware of these things. We don't have situations where we have hundreds of people living in a flood zone where we'd have to warn them like that, like they did in Texas. But we certainly have areas that are prone to flooding, and we try to get facilities in place to protect those areas. So I just want to point out that it is a tragedy what's happening in those places, and our hearts go out to them, and we really hope that nothing like that ever happens in our community. That, I'll take any questions.
Thank you very much. Sometimes I think we have people who are relatively, we still have lots of people who are relatively new here to our valley, but even people who have lived here for a while, we just take these things for granted, you know. Very few, there's a few of us who still remember Lake Charleston, right? And, you know, we remember the videos of people frolicking around on their jet skis there whenever we had a flooding event, right? Or even just had a heavy rain. But I never get tired of praising our forebears, on our city leaders here from a couple of generations ago, who had the wisdom to come together and provide a life-saving, property-saving service at a very economical cost. And really, I know we say we spend billions on flood control, but what is the cost of a life, you know? And I'm sure that we have our counterparts there in many parts of Texas who, you know, they find themselves, you know, in a very curious position. At this point, I am really appreciative of all the efforts that we've done. Your antecedents also have done a fantastic job, and I just I hope we keep on growing and protecting our residents as very much we have. Any questions or comments from the rest of the board, please?
I just want to ask, so what's this, how do we work the phone emergency system? Do we go through the weather service and they do it to us, or do we have our own connection to the
Yeah,
to
the
phones?
National Weather Service is the one who issues warnings and watches for flooding events and for rain events. And then they use our system, our rain gauge network of over 200 weather stations around Clark County to identify the locations where the storms are actually forming. As you know, like the thunderstorms might not be there at all, and there might not be anything on the radar, and then that storm can form in a location. And then once they have that and they can see that on the radar, then they look at our system. They know that this area is going to be maybe prone and things like you say, like they put out a watch. The National Weather Service can. And then once it starts raining, then they put out a warning for the area that's specifically infected by those. So it's a partnership between us, between the National Weather Service, Public Works, emergency responders. In this community, we're all working together to make sure that people are aware of when it can flood and then where it's flooding when it happens.
Do we know, has the weather service here been impacted by these budget cuts and these layoffs?
Good question.
The Weather Service here, they actually came and spoke to us about a month ago, and I asked them that question, and they said right now no, that they're fully staffed and they're keeping their eyes on the sky and they're performing the same service that they normally would.
Great, thank you.
And then one other comment I would have is, I would just ask that make sure, you know, whenever these events happen nationwide, everyone, you know, relooks at, you know, locally, what are their parameters, what are their policies, what are their procedures in place, and I know you're doing that, and you're even doing the media on that as well. But that you look at that ability to, that reverse 911 to, if it rose to the level of it is an emergent, we have to let everyone know in this canyon in Mount Charleston or in this area of town, because it is beyond just a flat, there is an emergency that you here are able to coordinate with the Clark County emergency managers, the respective cities, Las Vegas, Henderson, North Las Vegas, et cetera, emergency managers to enact that emergency reverse 911 to let those people know. So just make sure we're brushed up on that. We're coming into flash flood season, as you know, and that we just, you know, just make sure we're sharp and we're ready. It's one of those things where we don't want to get caught complacent or anything, so thank you.
Yeah, that's a great point. We also, I should point out that we have, for every one of our detention basins, we have emergency action plans that the emergency responders that have in their offices. And we can't make them available online all year round for national security reasons, but we can make them available during events, and we do that. So we can toggle those on and off so that if anyone is remote and needs to get access to those plans, they can do that if they're out in the field, for example. So yes, that partnerships are very important for those, and we're always trying to watch and see where road closures are and stuff like that, and there's websites that we internally with the community can watch and communicate with each other in those situations.
Anybody else? I might say that rather early on in my tenure there at North Las Vegas, I recalled getting a training with Mayor Lee and other members of the city council, and we attended a regional emergency, actually a continuation of government, but I don't remember doing one since. And this will be something that I'll bring up with my city manager, and I would just ask the other members of this board to maybe go back to your cities and ask if we're up to date. Now is the time to ask before we have an issue.
Yeah, we've done tabletop exercises. We've been involved in those as well with emergency responders and things like that, and those are good. Even if they're not like flood related, we know that the same situation is going to kind of happen in a flooding event. So we're involved in those things, and those are great things to practice before an actual event to make sure that everything's in place and that we're all ready to respond when something happens like that. So things have changed now. I mean, a lot of things more used to be we all have to go to a certain building or a certain location, but now a lot of that can be happening remotely. But as we know, as we saw with these last storms, it's not just the rain, it's like the wind. I mean, we saw the devastation of the wind. I mean, so you could say the storms haven't been bad in the last couple of weeks from a rain standpoint, but certainly the wind can cause problems, and then power goes down. Then when it rains, then there's lots of different types of problems. So those exercises are very important for the community as well.
Thank you very much. Okay.
We can move on to part two of the consent agenda. Items number 6 through 13 are considered by the Regional Flood Control District to be routine and may be acted upon in one motion if the board so desires.
Okay, fantastic. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, second? Let's take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And Commissioner, please forgive me, Chairman, I forgot to ask you if you had any questions or comments on the previous, on the General Manager's report. Please forgive me.
Go ahead.
That motion passes. Let's go on.
Part 3 of the agenda is discussion items. Item number 14 is the Meadows Charleston Storm Drain via Olivero, Montessori to Buffalo, City of Las Vegas. Part 14A is action to accept the project presentation. We have a presentation prepared for this project, and Skylar Christensen here to present for us.
Good morning. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present here. I'm Skylar Christensen with Atkins Realis. The area that we are designing here is just via Olivero and Buffalo. It's just north of Sahara and just a bit west of Rainbow. Looking here on this map, those facilities that are in blue are existing facilities. Those in red are proposed, and those in pink are also proposed. They are part of the local facility that lies within 1/4 mile of the original facility. Looking at a similar map here, just to describe the size of the different facilities here. Starting on the western side, the left side of your map, we have a 6x6 reinforced concrete box. As it starts there on O'Bannon and moves to the east, it turns south onto Buffalo. There it collects some additional local facilities that run in Buffalo. That 6x6 box allows us to get below an existing sewer line that's in the area before it increases to a 7x7. That 7x7 box then goes south on Buffalo, turns east onto via Olivero. At that intersection of via Olivero and Buffalo, passes underneath some very large water lines, and then as it moves east continues east on via Olivero and gets past Tenaya Way, it moves to an 8x7 before it eventually connects to the existing 10x6 that's over at the intersection of via Olivero and Montessori. In total, there's just a bit over 5,000 linear feet of facility that's being proposed. Looking here at the typical sections, you can see that the RCP, the reinforced concrete pipes and the reinforced concrete boxes are roughly between 12 and 20 feet below grade. Those that are going closer to 20 feet are areas where we need to get underneath some existing facilities that I mentioned, some of the sewer and the large water lines that are existing. Looking at the project cost here, a breakdown of the engineer's estimate, you can see that roughly we have about $12.3 million in total that is anticipated for the funding of this construction. Currently, we are beyond 90%. We are moving towards our final 100%. We have all of the right-of-way and easements that would be required to move forward with the construction, and also any permits that were required have also been obtained. The anticipated schedule, we're looking to go to bid roughly at the end of this year, start construction a couple months after that, and we anticipate this taking roughly 18 months to complete. And with that, I would invite any questions.
Thank you. We have a question from the councilman.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. This is in my ward, and most of my ward's been under construction for the last 5 years, and so people are getting a little bit tired of it. When we get closer to that December timeframe, can you just keep me updated on what the communication plan is for the residents around there so they're familiar with what to expect and how it'll impact their lives? And that would be closer to December, I think, is just maybe we send out a letter to everyone in that area just saying here's what the construction is and what it'll include. Cool. Thank you very much.
Yes, absolutely, we'll do that.
If I can make a comment as one of your constituents, I am getting tired of all that construction. But I am looking forward to the dog park.
If you can send a letter personally to the commissioner, I would appreciate that. The dog park will be in at the end of this year, I promise.
Can we assure him that this project will be a benefit to your community once it's completed? So, and you'll be better protected from flooding. So Part B of item 14 is the action to approve the interlocal contract for construction.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, I know the cones are always painful, but we're so much better off, at the very end. Just tell yourself that as you're driving. It's better in the end, it's better in the end, it's better in the end, and then honk really loud. At this point, do we, if there's no more questions, we now have a chance to get some action on this. Do I have a motion? Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm just flying through here. I guess I'll open this up now for a public comment.
This is not a public hearing.
We don't have a public hearing on it?
Not on this one, we do on number 16.
Okay, well, in that case,
You
no public
can
comment.
allow people to speak if they'd like, but it's not
Mr. Vice Chair, I'll
required.
move to approve.
And a second, maybe, from the commissioner? Oh, from the mayor. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Fantastic. Motion passes.
Item number 15 is to adopt the flood control master plan update for the Muddy River and tributary washes. This is a public hearing. We have a presentation from Abigail Mayrena, a principal engineer at Regional Flood Control District.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the board. My name is Abigail Mayrena, Principal Civil Engineer with Clark County Regional Flood Control District, here to present the 2025 Flood Control Master Plan update for Clark County Muddy River and tributary washes. The Muddy River and tributary washes study area consists of watersheds in the Moapa Valley and Moapa area. The tributary washes in the Moapa area are the Weiser Wash, Meadow Valley Wash, Upper Muddy River, and California Wash. In the Moapa Valley area, we have the Western Washes, in green, Eastern Washes in pink, and the Lower Muddy River in yellow along the middle. Note that all of the regional flood control facilities are in this area. Nevada Revised Statutes 543.596 requires that the flood control master plans be updated and reviewed every 5 years. The purpose of the master plan update, MPU, is to add new information, assess progress, identify obstacles, and recommend changes. The original master plan was adopted in 1986 for the entire Clark County, and the previous update for the Muddy River was in 2020. CCRFCD and Public Works staff started the process in December of 2024, which includes obtaining the current land use and soils data, review of approved drainage studies and projects which may impact the MPU, and coordination with Clark County and other stakeholders. we worked with Commissioner Kirkpatrick and her staff to present the draft MPU to the Moapa Valley Town Advisory Board in February and solicit comments. The 2025 MPU includes the conversion of the hydrologic models to the HEC-HMS software. This task was provided by a consultant, HDR, and reviewed by staff. The existing and proposed flood control facilities were assessed and updated accordingly. Using the 2023 Las Vegas Valley MPU cost tool, the estimated value of existing facilities and estimated cost of proposed facilities were calculated. The report has been finalized, and we are now in the adoption phase. Note that no significant comments were received after the February TAB presentation. The TAB recommendation for adoption of the 2025 MPU was obtained in April. Once the 2025 MPU is adopted by CCRFCD Board of Directors, it will be presented to the Clark County Board of Commissioners for adoption. The following two slides shows the MPU facilities in the Moapa Valley area. The existing facilities are in blue. Proposed or future facilities are shown in red. The regional facilities are similar to the 2020 MPU with the following updates. In the Muddy River North area, the construction of the Fairgrounds Detention Basin and outfall system was completed in November of 2024. Therefore, these facilities are now shown in blue or existing. A facility identified as MRLV0750, shown in yellow, has been added to the plan to establish continuity between regional facilities along the Muddy River. In the Muddy River South area, we recommend no change to the plan. As mentioned earlier, the 2023 Las Vegas Valley MPU cost tool was used to calculate the value of existing facilities and cost of proposed facilities. The estimated value of existing facilities in 2020 is approximately $37 million. In 2025, it's approximately $62 million, which is a difference of approximately $24 million. The increase in value of existing facilities is due primarily to the construction of the Fairgrounds Detention Basin and outfall system. The estimated cost of proposed facilities in 2020 is approximately $158 million. 2025 cost is approximately $259 million, which is a difference of approximately $100 million. The increase is due primarily to higher construction cost of proposed facilities and obtaining right-of-way. Action needed. The recommendation is that you find that the MPU is the most effective structural and regulatory means for correcting existing problems of flooding within the area and dealing with the probable effects of future development, and adopt the MPU for Clark County Muddy River and tributary washes as an amendment to the master plan. The MPU will not become effective until it is adopted as an amendment by Clark County. That concludes my presentation. Do you have any questions?
Thank you very much. I know it's, for me, it's been a while since I've been out that way, maybe at least a couple of years. Do I have any questions or comments from board members? None?
This is a public hearing.
Okay.
Yeah, so open this up for a public hearing for public comment.
Okay, let's go ahead and open it up for public comment. Is there anybody from the public who would like to step forward and make a comment or a question on this item? Seeing none, I will close public comments. At this point, I will entertain a motion.
So I would say that the staff would recommend that you find that the MPU is the most cost-effective structural and regulatory means for correcting existing problems of flooding within the area and dealing with the probable effects of future development.
Thank you very much, Mr. Director. I guess I have a motion from the mayor. Do I have a second? And a second. All those in favor? Aye. Aye?
Aye.
All right. Motion passes.
Item number 16 is to conduct a public hearing pursuant to NRS 288.153 and ratify, approve, and authorize the chair to sign the collective bargaining agreement between Clark County and the Nevada Service Employees Union, Local 1107, for both the supervisory and non-supervisory units, effective July 1st, 2025.
Thank you very much. All right. Well, do we have any? Do we actually have anybody here from SEIU who wanted to present or make a comment on this?
Then open the public hearing.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead. Yeah, we'll open normally, I'm accustomed to, normally we have someone from this organization, but there's no one here. I'll go ahead and open up the public hearing to see if anybody else would like to make a comment or a question on this. Seeing none. What is the recommendation from our staff?
We recommend approval.
Okay. Do we have any questions or comments from the board? No? I'll entertain a motion on this item.
Yeah, so we got to close the public hearing first. I didn't hear if you did it, but if you
Well,
didn't
I thought I
close
did.
it, did you? Okay.
Yeah, I thought I closed the public hearing, but maybe I didn't, you know. I'll thank you. If I didn't, I will close it again if I did. Hey, it's okay to close things once or twice. Sometimes I have a hard time closing my mouth a couple times in a conversation, but I will definitely close it again. I think we have a motion.
Move for approval.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mayor. Got a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Okay, I think that passes. Thank you very much.
Okay. Item number 17 is action to ratify and approve a wage increase, salary range increase, and benefit changes to non-union employees not otherwise covered by a collective bargaining agreement effective July 1st, 2025.
Okay, fantastic.
Move for approval.
Second.
It's for possible action. Do I have to open it up to public comment?
This one isn't a public hearing.
Very good. All right, well, we have a motion and a second. Do we have, let's go ahead and call for a vote. Aye?
Aye.
Motion- Thank you very much. Motion passes. Let's go on to the next.
Item number 18 is action to approve a proclamation that July 2025 be proclaimed Flash Flood Awareness Month, and all residents and visitors be urged to make themselves aware of the dangers of flash flooding in order to take the necessary precautions to prevent the loss of life and property. While flash flooding can occur in any month, rain during the months of July, August, and September have the greatest potential to produce flash floods in our area. Proclaiming July as Flash Flood Awareness Month will help heighten awareness for the potential of flash flooding in advance of flash flood season. The district's Flash Flood Awareness public information effort is a year-round program with heightened emphasis during the summer and flood-prone season. This year's campaign includes outdoor advertising, radio, television, interactive, and print ads. Additionally, district staff make presentations about flood safety to school children and community groups throughout the year, and use a variety of social media platforms to engage the public around this critical issue. And also mention, as I mentioned before, partnerships with the media and interviews as things come up as also part of this and our flood safety news conference as well. The designation of July as Flash Flood Awareness Month provides an opportunity to disseminate important flood information to the public when it is most relevant. This flood safety message encourages all residents and visitors to become aware of the dangers of flash flooding and to take the necessary precautions to prevent the loss of life and property in a flood event. Staff is also planning, press activities, including the one we had in June, to heighten the awareness of Flash Flood Awareness Month. With that, staff recommend that you proclaim July 2025 as Flash Flood Awareness Month.
Move to approve the proclamation.
Second.
Okay, and before we do that, I just wanted to, of course, thank our staff. We have, for those of you who don't know, we have an award-winning Dranger Stranger thing. It's to get the message out to younger people, right? And I appreciate everything that we've done with that. This is definitely we're in the monsoon season. I don't know how monsoony we're going to be. We'll see. You know, always good to not push our luck. And bring things down and kind of superstitious. So I have a motion and a second. Let's take a vote. Aye. Aye?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Item number 19 is comments by the general public.
All right. This is the second time set aside for public comment. Anyone wishing to speak to the board, now is your opportunity. Please come forward to the microphone and provide your comments and state your name for the record. You're limited to 3 minutes. Is there anybody who would like to provide comment? Okay, seeing none, I will close public comment and adjourn this meeting.
Thank you.
How are your kids doing?
They're great. It's a fun summer.